Hey y'all. We're gonna have to play because on YouTube live too. Have you ever loved somebody so much you can't sleep at night? Have you ever needed someone so bad? Okay, we're perfect. So I'm gonna just go ahead and start eating because my lunches are getting later now. You know, they were 12:30, then they went back to 12. Now, by the time I'm done with duty, with floating, oh my God. Anyway, it's part of the job. All other duties fall under your job description. And I never say I ain't gonna do this. Y'all didn't hire me for that. If they ask me to do it, I do it, especially if I don't have a kid in the classroom at that particular time. So anyway, we're gonna talk about, ooh, y'all popping on quick. So we are YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and certain clips of this will be transferred over to IG, Twitter, and TikTok, and Snapchat. I think I probably won't do Snapchat, so I don't get paid on Snapchat. But anyway, you know, somebody, hey BJ, somebody sent me that video last night, and I was like, I don't feel like digging and seeing if it's true or not, because before we put certain things out there, once TMZ announces it or a reputable outlet, then I'll share it. So I didn't go digging for it last night, and I got up this morning. I was ripping and running. Y'all know I was frying fish this morning, honey, exercise, doing everything. Got to work and still didn't have the time. And I went to my email. I think I had like 11 emails from bloggers. And what they do, they send influencers stuff to talk about and stuff like that. And I said, well, let me go ahead and dig and see if it's true. Honey, the video's out there. He said it. But let's talk about it, because I saw a lot of comments under TMZ, and if you don't go to church, hey Clarence, if you don't go to church, you're not gonna understand. Because I see some people saying, I don't go to church, but I know you're supposed to beg like that, you're supposed to lock no door. Now, let's be clear. Y'all know that man wasn't saying lock people in the church for real. And I believe in this, just me. I've been with people who have raised money in church. I see how they ask for it. I know the traits of it and how they do it. I'm a church girl, believe it or not. Hey, Jeffrey. So I believe what they were doing is probably, you know how people get up and walk during offering. I'm not saying, I'm just playing devil's advocate, and I'm not taking up for him because I wasn't there. I saw what you guys saw, the clip. So I don't know what took place before that. I don't know what took place after that, because you know in videos we always only see clips. Nobody ever do beginning to the end, or if it's a beginning to the end, y'all don't want to stay on 5 minutes to watch it. If it ain't done 15 seconds or 30 seconds, at least to a minute, y'all not gonna stay on and watch it. So stop giving y'all's opinions if y'all ain't watched the doggone thing. And if you don't go to church, and if you don't know how offerings are raised. Now again, am I talking about him? Absolutely not. Hi Janice. Am I taking up for him? Absolutely not. But what I'm saying is that people were probably getting up walking out, and it's probably why he said lock the doors, lock the doors. I have heard preachers say that. Don't let nobody else out the church. Don't let nobody else go out that door. Because worship, when you are giving and when you are praying, he didn't say lock the doors. Okay, let me go to the video. Let me go get my. Did you see the video? What did he say then? I put the video out there. Whether he said lock or close, I think he said lock. Look at the video again. I could be wrong. What did he say? Hold up. Let me see something real quick. Hold up. Okay, I did not call you. YouTube, I'm still live. Okay, I wanted to correct that. All right, you're correct. He did say close, not lock. So I need to go back and, well, I don't even think what he said on there. I don't think I said what he said on it. I may have. I'm going to go back and correct myself. So today I'm eating leftover African food that I had yesterday. I have my fufu right here. And I have a goosey soup. And I have the okra and shrimp soup. Now, I mixed it all together. I go to different ones, but this one here is on 1960 near Walters Road. It's right across the street. It's called Hunan's or Hunan, Hunan, not Aan, An Cafe, I think. something like that. But it's right across the street from Walmart. If you go to Walmart right there before you get to Walters Road, it's like right across the street. It's in that strip center, and it's called Hunan. And it's a Western African restaurant. And they're very clean in there, honey. You don't see no roaches. You don't see no spider webs in the corner. You don't see no gum up under the tables, honey. They very clean. So let's say grace and jump into it. Lord, we thank you for this food that we're about to eat. We actually let it be nourishment to our bodies. Bless the hands that prepared it. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. And thank God. Thank you, Lord. So he said, close the doors, not lock the doors. Now, I do understand that. And I'm thinking, again, I'm playing devil's advocate. If you don't want to see me eat this African food with my hands, get off. Because, baby, y'all yesterday, you better be glad y'all was saying it in the after replay. Because I'd have cussed y'all out. And come on if you don't want to see me eat. And I'm going to eat African food with my hands. But anyway, I think what went on, because we've never known Marvin Sapp to be, okay, Cheryl, we never known Marvin Sapp to be a bad person. I've interviewed him, I've sat and eaten with him and stuff like that. On certain occasions, I did the celebrity basketball game with him. The controversy of the week. The doors should have been closed already. But you know how people get up and listen, come on, Tamika. You know how people get up and walk in church? Because I do it too. When I'm ready to go, I'm going to get up and I'm going to leave. And you ain't going to keep me in. If I say I'm ready to go, open them doors. Now, however, if the pastor do say, sit down, I will respect that and I will sit down. And we know if you go to church and look like this is a conference or something going on. So we all know, if you've been to church, y'all know when offering time come, everybody get up and start walking. Y'all already know that, so stop acting like y'all don't know why the man said that. People was up walking. If it wasn't, why would he say that? Now, let's talk about the money. We got past that. Let's talk about the money, honey. Hey, Tiara. Let's talk about the money. It's okra. And shrimp is hidden. Baby. They gave me some big shrimp, too. I heard. See that, YouTube? So, again, we know it takes money to run churches. We know it takes money to have conferences. We know it takes money to have the lights on, to keep the air working, and to have these nice conferences, or to have nice services. Money has to come in. And what way to get it than to ask the congregation? We're not new to this. We already knows what they do. Now, maybe how he said it, some people didn't like it. I felt it could have been said in a different way. And we don't know what bills people have. People ain't in that faith trusting business like they used to be because they've been burnt so much financially by these preachers. And pastors, so when they used to say, okay, I'm going to give and have faith that God going to meet my need. Yes, and paying the guests. Absolutely. You have to compensate your guests. You have to compensate your musicians. These days, you have to compensate praise and worship leaders. Why? Because that's a job for them. That's their job. They're coming out and they're giving you great music, giving you their talent. Why shouldn't they be paid? How they growing up? I don't know what we were talking. My granny didn't play that. Exactly. So I'm looking at people here who don't go to church. I'm like, he shouldn't have been asking for money in church. No way. Why not? Now again, I said maybe the way he did it could have been done differently. You know, I'm gonna just say that, but I didn't get offended by it. I really didn't. I just said, oh, a little aggression on the offering. But I wasn't there to give, so I didn't care. I'm like, that's them folks there. If they want to give, let them give. Because I've seen people give up cars. I've seen people give houses to preachers. Yes, I have. I've seen God come in and bless people by their congregation, buying them Cadillacs and stuff. And they were blessed. The pastors weren't doing no scamming and nothing like that. They were just blessed people. Now, this is when I was coming up a long time ago. And a long time ago, some of our pastors had a job. Or if they didn't have a job, they wasn't none of them fly-by-night pastors. You can call them. If you need to call, you can call and talk to them. Or either talk to their wife, Jan, and say, they doing this in convention on church anniversary. Yeah. Because when you are at church anniversaries and stuff, you have to raise the money. How you gonna raise the money if the people don't come and give the money? Look at the Potter's house. Y'all wouldn't dare say that if he just went to the Potter's house and said that. Y'all say, uh-huh. Bless him, Mr. Jakes. Uh-huh. That was the Lord talking. He got my $1,000. So I'm not gonna say he was right. I'm not gonna say he was wrong. I'm gonna tell you, I know it costs to carry churches. Listen, y'all want to come to church and don't give. And I'm not on here to tell nobody to give. Because again, people been burnt. But when you come to church, you have a responsibility. If you are a member of that church, and your responsibility is that church is to, number one, give when you can, or give out of faith, or give out of whatever you want to give. Now, me, I'm a tithe payer. Now, I know that was in the Old Testament. I know we're living under mercy and grace now, grace and mercy now. But still, I was just raised like that. My tithes come out of my check every 2 weeks. Every time I get paid, my tithe come out. I'm going to get it off of automatic draft. They done doubled me a couple of times. And they owe me some money. Mr. Sister, do you want your money back? Yes. And do? But we can. Now, the one thing I don't like, I'm gonna tell you what I don't like. And I've like I said, I've seen people do this for years. You can't drain people financially. You don't tell nobody. Good afternoon, Miss Jackson. You cannot, hey, Terry. You cannot tell somebody, put your 20, now it's just me. Put your $20 up and get $100 out because you know it costs to send uphill, to be uphill. Now, I don't know what he meant by that, but I know what it sounded like. Meaning, if you ain't gonna get no $100, you don't need to be sitting up here. If you sitting up here in clergy or in the choir or whatever he was talking to, I think he was talking to the preachers. People tell me he was talking to the choir. I think he was talking to the clergy that was in the pulpit with him. I don't think he would say that about the choir. Then again, I don't know, but I'm being surprised and shocked. And a lot of the stuff that's going on. Honey, y'all talked about Yolanda Adams singing at the rodeo, but ain't nobody said nothing about the new remix Marvin Sapp did with Ricky Smiley and them week before last. I need to upload it. Baby, thank you at the club. So, people are going in, they talking about they trying to turn gospel into R&B. I'm not a singer. I'm just a background singer. So, I don't know, but tell me your thoughts on here. Sherry said, well, most of them has the cost. Yeah, exactly. Concert. Exactly. We can go to concerts and spend $100 on a ticket, but go to church and ask for $25 and they always beg. That's what they supposed to do, because if they just ask, y'all ain't gonna give. So yeah, some have to beg. Because in order for those lights to be turned on, when you come back there next week, some gotta be paid this week. So, child, get off of here. Go suck your mama ass. And I said it. But, baby, don't get me started. Because I already done said it. I'm eating African food and I'm eating. It's a disgrace to their culture when you eat with a spoon in their establishment. And I have some African people on here. Yeah. I dated an African before. But it's a disgrace when you eating their food, West African food with a spoon. And they don't do that. Like some of y'all said, it's a shame because I put grits on sugar on grits. Uh-huh. Close the doors. He said close the doors and not lock the doors. Thank you, Rhonda. Yep. Come on. Your eyelashes on bad and while you eating with your hand. Child, please. Evidently, you don't get out much to try other foods. Because if you did, you would know why I'm eating with my hands. Bismillah. Bismillah. You know what that means in Africa? Nobody said how kiki wild. But come on now. Come on now. Some stuff ain't worth addressing. And I ain't gonna say nothing about how she was dressed because she had a hard time singing at the funeral. How she broke down and stuff. A hard time. What are you talking about? Or either they don't go. If you look at the comment section, Janice, or either they don't go to church. Most of your naysayers, most of the people who gonna talk about church and stuff, are people who don't go, or people who has been hurt. And I get church hurt. I get it. Y'all need to stop saying you shouldn't have no church hurt. Yeah, people have church hurt. I had it, and I know I had it. And ain't nobody gonna tell me I shouldn't have it. I just deal with it. I deal with it as such. I don't blame anybody else. Yeah, I was hungry. Y'all saw how much I was in there? Whew. I said I didn't want to detox. I'm gonna have to detox tonight, either in the morning, probably in the morning. Too late to be detox now. Excuse me. Hold on. What's today? Astros. They ain't took no pictures with these folks. They just post me pictures. Tell me, Miss Young, you coming down and say, Yeah. Hey, Vicky. April. But yeah, so church hurt is on the rise. Church hurt is real. Pastors have church hurt. I'm not gonna say pastors don't. Pastors have church hurt. You know? It's William Murphy gone. What you mean gone? I was with him this summer. I interviewed him this summer. I was supposed to go to his church for New Year's. And I don't know what hell I didn't go. I was going to the New Year's party for the church. But to me, you said to you, so meaning that this is your opinion, okay? But to me, he asked for that amount of money. Of course, you have to pay the guest. Pastor, this hotel room. No, you have to compensate your, I used to be a minister. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, sir. When a pastor comes, a pastor has a contract. Just like celebrities do. If their compensation is we raise $2,000 and I get $1,000, or we raise $2,000 and I get 60%, that's what you have to pay them. It ain't just flight, room, and you still have to feed them throughout the day and breakfast. Most pastors do room service for breakfast and kind of stay in because they don't like mingling with the members, especially if they're prophets and yeah, because they want people thinking that somebody told them their business. But I see what you're saying, but no, because when I send my contract out, if you're gonna buy it or not, I don't care how many people you have coming to somewhere you have me come speaking on a panel. If I ask you in the beginning with my contract, what is your budget? If you tell me my budget ain't but $1,500, I'm gonna say, okay, give me $100. You don't have to pay the full $300. Give me $100. If you say I can't afford it, I'm gonna say give me $50. I may. It just depends. Now you ain't gonna get over on somebody. They're supposed to do that before they get passed. Not necessarily. No, they're supposed to pay for the room and stuff, but not necessarily. Because I'll tell you, I done been a part of us bringing people into conferences, and we had their flight, hotel, and stuff taken care of. But to pay them, they were either there a week or 4, but however many days they're there for revival, that's how many days they're there, and you don't pay them until that last day unless they're requesting money up front. Some pastors do request a deposit. Now, when I go speak, I now request a deposit up front. Your deposit is 100% refundable if you cancel me or let me know that the event is canceled, not going on, I think 72 hours ahead of time, because I have people that call and want me to do stuff all these stuff I don't even post, because sometimes I don't want to be on social media, or if it's dealing with kids being adopted and stuff like that, and I'm over at these facilities, I can't post them. I can't even post the name of the place where I'm out, that I'm in a parking lot and all that kind of stuff. What? No. Yeah, I have contracts. Yes, ma'am. I'm a motivational speaker. I'll speak on different panels. I just spoke for Iyanla, not for her. I was supposed to be on Iyanla Van Zant during COVID. I was one of the ones when she ended her show, did a thing on there talking about COVID. I'm gonna put it out there. We did it Google, but you probably never seen it already. But yeah, Iyanla Van Zant has a contract. Yes, ma'am. I have a contract. If you want me to come and MC, there is a contract. Yes, ma'am. You bet, because if not, people gonna say, oh, well, we didn't raise as much, or I didn't know. No. Nope. Yep. Sure do. People ain't doing stuff. Tiara said. Let me see. Tiara said. Okay. Over there giving. That's what I mean. Yes, that's coming to the church. Okay, Janice. I understand you say you don't get it, but yeah, they have contracts. Rhonda McLemore, and I'm just naming a few. You think she gonna go and sing without whether? I know she has a contract, but you think she gonna go and sing with? Now there may be some places she go without. These you have to have one. You from Detroit? Okay, I didn't know that because people would mess over you. I'm telling you, I used to go when I first started doing this 15, 20 years ago. It depends on what kind of church you go to. All pastors are different. All pastors are different. Like if you go to the Potter's house, like when my sister preached at the Potter's house, she preached that morning and that night. And I'm not going to say how much they gave her, because how much they gave her, some of y'all probably don't even make in a year. Or I'm going to say some of us don't even make that in a year. They paid what her contract said, or what she told them that she wanted to be compensated for. If she say I want 30,000, hey, because you're paying for my music, because I'm a gospel recording artist as well, and then I'm a preacher, so you're paying that. Now I'm just using that for an example. There's so many other people, preachers that I have been with when they had got Tony Harris. I've been with her when she get paid. Actually, when I was the minister, the youth minister at my church, we brought her in from Houston to Dallas, and let her know ahead of time our verbal contract. She let me know how much, whatever. Okay, this is what we're gonna do because this is youth Sunday. So we know the youth ain't got a whole lot of money. I understand what that you know they may be working at McDonald's or whatever. So that meant we was a small church. So when you have a small church, you pulling on. Hold on. I said he and forgot what time it was. Talking with y'all, I said and forgot what time it was. You're pulling on the 10 to 15 members that you have because you don't have a church that has 30, 50, maybe 100 strong. They had to start putting it on paper because these people are coming down again. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Way back in the days, my grandfather was a preacher. Way back in the day, they was getting paid. Yes, because that's how they paid their families. Most pastors are on a salary. You didn't know that? Most pastors are on a salary, especially these big churches. They're on a salary. Now, if it's a church where the pastor started it and he wasn't voted in, that's different. I don't know how they do it. I know the pastor's on a salary. But if you, like my sister had a church, she started her church. So what she did, she had to pay the musicians, she paid everybody, and I was one of the finance people. So I know how it works. And then she was coaching. And then when we would have conferences, flying out of town, that took a lot of money. And she would fly in some good people. So we knew, okay, we had Dorinda Clark one night. I'm gonna just throw something out there. We took the conference all the way to Pittsburgh to Lisa Thorpe's dad's church, Bishop Thorpe. We were there. Now it was a big conference, but we had to fly all these people in. My sister had to fly all these people in. I think the first night we started out with Dorinda Clark because she was a headliner. You know, everybody gonna come with Dorinda Clark. I think at that time we were talking about in the 90s. Dorinda was like 5,000. Maybe 10,000. I want to say 5,000. My sister had 5,000. The church didn't have $5,000 to give her. So what they do, they come and they raise their offering. They raise their offering to try and get to that amount. Now, no, hers is 5,000. Hers is 5,000. I'm tripping. She still had to raise an offering, but when she left, she still had to get what she told us that that she would come for. Ain't no pastors going out here preaching for free no more. They not. And people say pastors shouldn't. No, pastors should. Pastors have a house to take care of. They have families. Yeah, I know they should be out getting a job too, but if they're not, y'all, hell, how they gonna get a job? Y'all calling them all day and night for prayer. Pastor, he left the top off the toothpaste. Y'all don't give these pastors a break. I ain't lying. When my sister pastor, they will call her for any little thing. Any little thing. And that's what they do because they're told that they're supposed to go to, especially a small church. A small church is going to be more family oriented anyway, and that's how we work. But when I go to these big churches now, when I got my minister's license at another church in Fort Worth, it was still a small church, but yes, Mm-hmm. Even back then, it didn't stop. It just, they probably wasn't getting as much as they're getting now. Yeah, my grandfather go out and preach. He get money. But my grandfather had another job. He was a bus driver. My daddy was a bus driver. My granddaddy was a bus driver. Rolling, rolling, roll. Come on, come on. Let's turn this big old bus. Yeah, so I'm just saying that. Okay, so I'm just saying that. Okay, my grandfather too. We're in the same boat then. But again, we were Baptists. But then when I started being my sister came from Kojic. So the dynamics of church for me really changed. You know, honey, I didn't know I can get in church and dance and shout. Honey, you better not dance at church I grew up in, honey. They, baby, fall out with a sheet thrown over you. Honey, you shout in the Baptist church, honey, they just gonna give you that's spirit, men of spirit. Put it up under your nose. Oh, you gonna wake up then. But see, you go to the holiness churches. Fall out, all they gonna do is let you lay down there and let God deal with you. Throw a sheet on you and let you go for what you know. As you should, as you should. And another thing, pastors need to be held accountable. We're gonna talk about molestation tomorrow. I ain't putting my mouth on the woman, the man of God, but some of y'all done some stuff. Yeah, baby, y'all. Yesterday when I think I got three inboxes after I said yesterday we're gonna talk about molestation, and this lady stuff was telling me, I say, and your parents didn't have him put in jail, and you got a baby by him, and nobody knows, still knows. Really? So you know, yeah. So when I saw that, I said, I started looking at the comment. First thing I do is run straight to the comment section, honey. It goes down. I see y'all over there on YouTube Live. It goes down in the comment section, baby. The comment section, you can, honey. And I'm looking at these people. I say, they arguing. And this dude and his wife on here, both of them say, oh, we don't go to church, but we know. How you know if you don't go to church? We don't go to church, but we know you ain't supposed to be asking for this guy. How you know you don't go? You pay your tithes too, because you be worried your pastor. I just pay them because I know it's right to do. You know what? That's a personal thing, because at this point, everybody do what they want to do. I just, you know, I was just raised like that. I saw my mom before my mom did anything after she got paid. Sanctified, yep. They ready to take these Astros pictures. I thought they was going to send me home today, so what? This Astros spot. Oh, Michelle was talking about dirty bras today. I said, Lord Jesus. Dr. Michelle. Mia Saxon. You put your mouth on who? Not the one. Gwen, you put your mouth on who? Not the men and women of God. No. Honey, you can't do that. We can't do that, Gwen. You work your pastor, but I bet he loves you, or she loves you. I bet they do. I used to work my pastor nerves too, but it wasn't nothing I couldn't call her for and she wouldn't do for me. I used to work her nerves, baby. It wasn't nothing that I couldn't call on her to do and she wouldn't do for me. Hold up, y'all. All right, YouTube. We are going, this 30 minutes and 11 seconds. So we're going off of YouTube. Thank y'all for being on.